Hi, are you digging for Greek Cypriots or Turkish Cypriots here?
We are digging for Cypriots.
In Cyprus, reconciliation between the two communities is an essential part of the search for an overall solution. A key issue is the fate of 2,000 missing persons from both communities. This issue is being addressed by the Committee of Missing Persons, known as the CMP.
The missing became the symbol of the Cypriots' recent history. It's perhaps the most tragic aspect of what has become known internationally as the Cyprus problem. Yet recently, this tragic aspect has ironically become a success story of the Cypriots themselves.
There's always hope for the future. The future, frankly, is a triumph of the past for most of us, and so we look forward to this continued work by this young bi-communal team, and they represent the best of the two communities in our view on this particular issue.
They've initiated a completely Cypriot-owned process to trace the graves of the Greek Cypriot and the Turkish Cypriot missing. The elaborate process includes exhumations of remains and scientific identification, leading to closure of as many cases as possible and bringing relief to the families.
Families who went through the same pain, same agony, and benefited out of this project realized very quickly that that's it. You know, there is a sort of, I don't know whether I can use the word, brotherhood or similarity in their feelings. And if you extend this, then you can see that in Cyprus, why shouldn't things be like this, as an example. But of course, you need here a vision accepted by many people, and you need a catalyst to work on it, and you need those who can influence for or against to be positive.
When I go and when I'm alone, when I think about it, I say that now, today, we serve the family who was longing for a long time, waiting for their loved ones, and we help them to find it. So this is a very big satisfaction. But on the other side, when you look at it, there are different dimensions of the project: scientific dimensions, human aspects, logistics, equipment.
The project is under the guidance of the Committee on Missing Persons. The committee is made up of a Greek Cypriot member, a Turkish Cypriot member, and a third member appointed by the UN Secretary General.
According to the witness information, we are looking for 3 Turkish Cypriots missing, but we found 2 Turkish Cypriot missing, which one was a woman, the other one was a man. There was a possibility that we could find a woman. The first time the Bambos was inside and I was helping him, he shouted that I found it, and I wanted to get inside to check if it's a woman or not.
You feel satisfied from one point of view, and of course sad, and because all of this happened in the past.
An anthropological laboratory was set up in the UN-controlled area of the Nicosia International Airport. Remnants found at the exhumation sites are brought in for reconstruction, examinations and identification tests.
We have started the anthropological lab in 2006 under the cooperation of the coordination of the Argentinian team, and the first year was setting the procedures, establishing agreements with external collaborators, But in the identifications, when they started in 2007, they have been progressing tremendously. So we started in 2007 with around 50 identifications, and last year we have reached 100.
They always thank us because they are waiting very long time, and everybody wants to meet their missing persons is very soon. Sometimes they want to be, we have to be hurry, but we explain them why we are sometimes slow if it's coming or something like that, and they understand us.
An important part of the project is the psychological support of the families of the missing. Their pain and agony over the fate of their loved ones has been a permanent feature of their daily lives over the years. Some members of the families console themselves through retaining, one way or another, some sort of spiritual contact with their loved ones.
Για μας τους πονεμένους είναι μεγάλη χαρά που μας επισκεφτήκετε, διότι διάτε μας κουράγιο. Αλλά δόξα ο Θεός, δόξα ο Θεός. Τώρα να πούμε εγώ νιώθω μια ανακούφιση, διότι κάθε απόγευμα έχω κάπου να πάω να βρω τον άντρα μου. Έχω να πούμε σαν που να έχεις ραντεβού να βρεθείς στον τάδε τόπο. Βλέπει μες στα μάτια και νιώθω να πούμε ότι είμαι 18 χρόνων εγώ τώρα και 23 ο άντρας μου που χαρτωθήκαμε και γνωριστήκαμε. Αυτό νιώθω που πάω τώρα και βλέπω τον μέσα στα μάτια και βλέπει με και μιλούμε.
The strength and patience that the relatives have shown over the years has been a unique source of motivation for both the members of the CMP and the young scientists involved in this project. This creates very strong bonds between them. During lunchtime they share each other's food, they share their thoughts and even their secrets. What brings them so close is their devotion to what they do.
I don't want, sorry.
Can begin by studying the provisional agenda.
This is also reflected in the cooperation at the CMP level. Its members meet quite often to review the results at the various stages of the process and to bring in any new facts that investigations may yield and assist in tracing burial spots.
I feel that I am contributing to my country as well, because with the missing persons issue, with this project, everybody is talking about the past of Cyprus, history of Cyprus. Everybody, I think both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots are understanding each other better.
At the laboratory, anthropologists cut samples from bones found at the exhumation sites for DNA tests that would help determine the identity of the person the bones belong to. They brief the CMP members of their findings and of the progress of their work.
The next stage is once we receive the pending DNA results from the lab folk, we will send these samples for genetic analysis.
Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot scientists also work together at the Cyprus Institute of Neurology and Genetics, which is responsible for the DNA tests. Blood samples from relatives of missing persons were collected here and are used to match samples from exhumed bones to determine their identity.
We use young Cypriot scientists to help. And as a matter of fact, they do most of the work. Some of it is, in fact, very, very dangerous.
We're looking for 1 or 2 Greek Cypriots actually killed in this field. And we thought before that they were buried somewhere else, but we searched and we couldn't find them there. So this well, close to that area, is very, primary importance for us. Now we are checking this.
Also, it's very difficult to walk in the water. And if we have bodies, it means too much time here. Water swimming is taking
it's
a lot
very
of time.
time-consuming.
Yes, it's dangerous thing, but I feel very good, and I think I'm doing very nice thing.
First you feel nothing, but when you stop working for a second, you start feeling that this person used to have a family, and that it's not just a bone, it used to be a person, and it's difficult.
Whatever they do, it's difficult for them to detach themselves from what they know and live with all the time, that their people out there expect so much from them. They share the relatives' agony and expectations.
Hep beraber, mesela beraber işe giderler, beraber yerler. Yani beraber geçer. Evet, günlük hayat mesela beraber geçerdi. Ama önceden tabii ki olaylar, ta başından anlatmam gerekirse, olaylar mesela 1950'lerde falan başladığında bizim köyden de mesela 65'lerde falan, 63'lerde falan köyümüzden kayıp olan şahıslar vardı ki ben ilkokula gidiyordum ve hatırlıyorum 2 kardeş ovada koyunlarını, sürülerini bekletirken kaybolmuşlardı ve akıbetleri hiç belli olmadı bugüne kadar. Sonra başka bir köylü vardı, Türk. O da yine aynı şekilde yoldan işine giderken o da kayboldu ve maalesef akıbetleri hiç belli olmadı.
I was thinking of Cyprus issue more objectively or more historically or more mathematically, but now I am looking through a human perspective, humanitarian perspective of Cyprus issue.
1974'e kadar kayıp olarak biliyorduk babamızı. 1974'ten sonraki savaş çıktı. Savaştan sonra işte Türk askeri buraya geldi, belirli yerlere alındı. İşte babamız bulundu, geliyor. Öyle bir şeye kapıldık. Biz bulundu, işte esirdi de bulundu, hayattaydı filan gibisinden. Yani pantolonları, gömlekleri filan hiçbirini atmadık. Düşünün 10 sene bir babanın bütün elbiseleri 75 yılına kadar, 76 yılına kadar neredeyse dolapta duruyordu. Daha sonra tabii 74 hareket olduktan sonra herkes bir beklenti içerisine gitti. Kayıpları gelecek, onlar kavuşacak diye. Peki. Daha sonra denkler çıktı, dedik yer beklemeyin, boşuna hayal kapılmayın. Bu insanlar öldü, artık gelmeyecek.
If there's a lesson from the Cyprus experience in the missing persons issue, it's that humanitarian matters cannot wait. Inevitably, in conflict situations, there are atrocities from both sides. What matters, however, is the compassion and the will the sides can muster to bring relief to the families of those who've suffered during the conflict the soonest. What is amazing and not so widely known is the degree to which the relatives of the missing have managed to overcome their own limits. Not easily, not without pain, but most of them have managed it.
Σημερώνουν καμώνα έχεις αγνούμενο. Αλλά τι καταλαβαίνει το κάποιος που είναι εσύ. Εμείς επειδή έχουμε, καταλάβουμε. Τώρα που ευρέθηκε, ανακουφιστήκαμε. Είναι διαφορετικά. Ως που είναι ζωντανό, εμείς νομίζαμε είναι ζωντανός. Και όλος ο κόσμος, και Ελληνοκύπροι και Τουρκοκύπροι, όλοι μας νομίζουμε ότι είναι ζωντανοί κάποια ημέρα να έρθουν. Ασχετός ηλικία ή πόλεμος ή οτιδήποτε. Νομίζω κάθε άνθρωπος το δικό του περιμένει το ζωντανό. Ξέρουμε ότι έχουμε τον τάφο μας. Να πάμε κάθε μέρα το ανάψουμε το καντήλι του, να πάμε να τον καπνίσουμε, να πάμε να γύρουμε νερό. Ξέρουμε να βάλουμε μια φωτογραφία, ξέρουμε ότι ο παπάς μας είναι για μένα τώρα.
Μιλάς του, κυρία Μαρούλα, κάπου?
Μιλώ του καλό, μιλώ του.
Τι είναι που λέτε?
Μιλώ του πολλά.
These are the sane young people who are up to their necks in mud and water. They're trying, in their own way, to unwind after a day's work, even though their circumstances may be different. They're all trying to limit what they take home with them from the day's experience. What is certain is that they've matured rapidly, as a matter of choice, their choice.
What we feel, actually, when we speak about these things, when we are up, we say that we buried our past very deep. When we see the bones here, it's for real that we see we buried our past, which we shall never did, into the very deep of our soil and our hearts. It symbolizes everything that we are scared of. It's dark, it's deep, and it's emptiness. It goes somewhere that you don't want to be. So very tragic things and very realistic things, unfortunately, we feel when we see the bones down.
One of the biggest, I think, positive things as a result of this project is not only that certain families finally find out what happened to their loved ones, but also that we can show that a team of Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot scientists working together can actually do such miracles.
The members of the CMP depart from the digging site. Work, however, continues, and there's still lots to be done. The older relatives, mothers and fathers mostly, do not have much time. And for all involved in this process, this is a race against time also.
All our scientists are young Cypriots, you know, under 30s or young 30s. And for them it's, and moreover they are actually dealing with the remains every single day, be it at the exhumation site or at the anthropological laboratory. And for them, many of them having not known the war, so it's sort of really discovering their pasts.
I think cooperation is going well, because if we didn't have this cooperation, if we didn't have if we didn't manage to build the trust, we couldn't continue. This is for sure.
The fact that no matter how big the difficulties are and how much psychologically we are affected, in the end we draw strength from the families themselves.
And this cooperation has been really exemplary, and they are cooperating in an effort to reconcile with the past, to bury, as it were, the past, and look cooperatively towards the future. And I think the CMP exemplifies that effort.
One of the biggest tragedies is actually to lose a loved one, and an even bigger tragedy not to know what happened to your loved one. So also on humanitarian grounds, that it is very important that any missing people are actually found, and that there is an unfortunate closure, at least for the families of these people.
The success of the CMP shows the determination of both communities to overcome the past and to pave the way for a comprehensive settlement. The EU supports CMP, supports reconciliation, and supports the two leaders in their efforts to reach a comprehensive settlement.
There's a feature in the CMP project in Cyprus which is of much wider interest. It's the first case of such a project which is undertaken by the two sides to a conflict even before the conflict itself has been resolved. What's more important is the fact that as it progresses, the project proves to be an important contributor to the overall reconciliation on the island.
The fate of missing persons is often the last large-scale humanitarian tragedy in post-conflict situations. The ICRC recognizes the efforts done by the Commission on Missing Persons in Cyprus in the recent 3 years to provide answers and clarifications to the families of missing persons. It remains a priority for the ICRC to make sure that all parties to a conflict take all necessary measures to prevent persons from becoming unaccounted for.
Determining the fate of missing persons occupies an increasingly prominent place in peacemaking, peacekeeping, and post-conflict peacebuilding. Painful and emotional issues are involved. The humanitarian importance of this work is clear. Handled properly, it can build trust and promote reconciliation, which are crucial for long-term peace. The Committee on Missing Persons in Cyprus has been a model of successful cooperation between the Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot communities. The United Nations has been proud to facilitate the committee's work with the support of the international community. The committee is helping to build a sustainable and joint future in Cyprus. I hope this effort will also provide lessons for other post-conflict situations and anywhere families yearn to learn the fate of their loved ones.